Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be trying to answer the question, is Goblins still viable in Historic? Now there's a lot of aggro lists going around at the moment, such as green-white life gain, mono-green elves, and the like. However, I feel like mono-red Goblins has kind of been forgotten. You know, you're not seeing this deck as prevalently played, but I don't think it's actually got all that worse. Some of the sideboarding which people have done has actually made it a lot better. There's a lot less board wipes being played to counter decks such as Jud's Sacrifice, and actually I think Goblins is really well lined up. Now, if I'm speaking quietly, I'm sorry, it's quite late where I am, and I don't want to wake anyone else in my house up, but, you know, here I am, the classic Magic player, up in the stupid hours of the morning, playing Mythic Ladder. If you guys enjoy the video, like the content, any of that stuff, please drop a like. It means a massive amount to me, and it kind of tells me which content you guys enjoy. But with that being said, let's try and get some wins in a Mythic Ladder. Alright, so we get into a game. We are on the play. It's a pretty poor hand, this. This is a much nicer hand. We can drop one of the mountains. And we're really well lined up here for the game. The reason we play these snow mountains instead of just normal mountains is because in our sideboard we've got 4 copies of Frostbite. Which is the card which it deals 2 damage if you don't have 3 snowlands, and if you do have 3 snowlands it deals 3 damage. So that's the reason we're playing the snow mountains. I mean, there's no downside to putting them in the deck apart from Redain, which makes them come in tapped, but I've not been playing against much of that recently. Hopefully this guy can make his decision as to whether to keep it or mulligan it quickly. It's probably a pretty close decision, which means if he does keep it, it might be quite a weak hand. So we've got to consider that with our plays. So the other inferences we can make is that he doesn't have a Gigantha, which means he probably isn't playing Sacrifice. And if he is playing Sacrifice, he's playing Bolus's Citadel. Or just some weird cards like Massacre Girl, which I've played in Jud's Sacrifice before. And he's not playing Lurrus. Or he's not playing Auras, because otherwise he would have a Lurrus. He would have a Lurrus, whatever it's called. Lurrus Companion, that's the one. Yeah, let's hope it's... Okay, we'll keep this. He decided to keep his hand. We are on the play with Goblins, we should be winning this. No matter what deck he's playing. If he's playing Elspeth, so it's probably some white Azorius weird. And he's got his Embalmed Cat thing, so maybe he's playing Godfarer's Gift or something like that. Some weird deck. Those are the kind of inferences we can try and make so far. It might be that he just bought that. Okay. Couldn't have been much further off. He's playing Gates. We are probably the worst matchup this guy could have, if we're thinking about it. His deck will run out really slowly, and he'll rely on getting value later. So we've just got to try and be very aggro here. Arboreal Brazier. Now that shuts us off quite a bit, so we might actually be in some trouble here. Okay, we don't want to play anything too good, or else he might Gates Ablaze or something to try and shut us off. Let's see what he does. Okay, well, he plays Gates Ablaze anyway. Which I'm perfectly happy with. I'm glad we didn't run out our second Snoop there. Okay, let's just hope he doesn't have a second one, and hopefully we can get something good off of our Conspicuous Soup. Conspicuous Soup? Not quite. Conspicuous Snoop next turn. Okay, he gets 3 life. Let's see what he plays. Taps for white. It's promising. Okay, Circuitous Route. Is this the one where he wins the game? Yeah. Hopefully we hit something good here. Okay, what do we want to get? So we just get Moxus. It's just a standard really nice card. And now we've just got to try and win. You can play Moxus next turn if you want to. If he's got a Gates Ablaze, that'd be really nice here. It's got 7 lands, so it's pretty dangerous. Growth Spiral. Okay. He's getting those gates. It's cost 3, so... Alright, so we win the first game there against Gates. Gates is a really slow matchup, so it shouldn't be too difficult to wrap up. We'll just run it back. We're going to be really good against the slower decks. Okay. This is a really nice hand here. He's kind of just got a mulligan until he's got Gates Ablaze. Okay. This is a nice hand. Do we go for Scoop or Wily Goblin? Scoop. I've gone for Soup, Scoop. It is Snoop. Okay. So we go for Snoop. Moxus on top. We'll play Wily Goblin next turn. Start getting some mana for it. Okay, it's got Plaza. Gatebreaker Ram. Okay, hopefully we don't see a Gates Ablaze here. That would suck. Okay, just a Gatebreaker Ram. Okay. This is an interesting turn. I think we do just go for a big old Moxus though. No sacrifice. Snoop or... I'm gonna go for Snoop. Prospector can help get a chieftain down if we don't hit. Let's just pass it back, I suppose. Okay. Take the damage, go down to 5. Interesting. Let's just go for Ringleader. I don't think he's got any haste creatures, so discard a card. Wily Goblin is just a worse card in that hand by a long way. goblin down. Goblin chieftain. And I'll swing through. Then that leaves us with enough for Moxus next turn. Interesting. Gates ablaze. Shimmer. Alright, so we've got a Moxus next turn, where we will hopefully find lethal. Well, yeah. Seems like lethal to me. So we win our first game against Gates. Let's get into our second game. Okay, so we've got a good hand here. We don't have a turn 2 play so far, but I don't think that matters. We've got Goblin Chieftain followed up by Krenko, so we should be fine. So what pathway is this? Simic. So he could be some control-y kind of deck. Is this flash? I pray it's not flash. In case it is flash, I'm not going to swing with my Scrap Prospector. In case he has whatever that 2/2 flash creature is. It's just a shot, I think. So, you know, your classic. We can't really gauge any information from that. The goal is still to go Goblin Chieftain into Krenko. I think we might have some counters coming our way here, so we'll have to negate this. Well, not negate, you know. We're going to have to, by negate I mean we're going to have to play around it. Hey, we can get him for 1 damage though. We'll take that while we can. Okay, I think we're definitely playing against a flash guy, especially with a card such as Quench. Yeah. Frilled Mystic. Supreme Will. Okay. This guy must be down pretty bad to be playing Supreme Will in his deck. Tell me you don't have fun playing Magic Arena without telling me you don't have fun while playing Magic Arena. Play Goblin Ringleader. It's a pretty bad card for him to counter, but the 4 Goblin cards in my hand could be a game breaker. Okay, fastest intervention. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a... Well, first I'm going to swing in with Scrap Prospector. Guarantee that kind of damage. Now we're going to play Snoop, because it's just a much better card against control-y type decks. Especially if he's Simic, he can't do anything while it's on the battlefield. Oh god. Goblin Matron. He could have that 6 mana card. Torrential Gearhulk. Jesus. And by Jesus, I don't mean Jesus. I said, oh, it's a bad card. I mean, you know. Is he going to make me counter it unless I can pay? Alright, okay, he's going to let me resolve. He's going to let me resolve the old. Okay. Give me Moxus. I could have gotten Skirk Prospector there to guarantee that we resolve. Not gonna worry about torrential Gearhulk damage. Okay. Now he's not going to want to. He might have a counter for Moxus, so we're going to play around that by playing Krenko. He's going to want to save his counters if he does have them for our Moxus. Sublime Epiphany, alright. Okay. 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 Interesting. Quench. Alright. Conspicuous Snoop, no attacks. Alright, we're going to have to chop block with our Goblin Matron here. And then just pray for an unbelievable turn with Moxus that he doesn't counter. Okay, so we go down to 5. Not a problem. Okay. Gotta hope this resolves. If not, we're in a little bit of a situation there. I tell you what, a lot of people hate on cat decks and mono red decks and that, but to me personally, a Simic control deck, ugh. That's a good sign. Okay. He could have Supreme Will, he could have Quench. All of those cards I could pay because our Phyrexian Tower's left up. Okay, Growth Spiral. Really don't think this guy's got anything. He might have just drawn something. Did we play it land this turn? Yeah, I think we did. Is this enough to kill him? 6, 10. Let's take Skirk. Got to do it like this. Damage. Okay, so we managed to win that game with a big old Mux this turn, fighting off 3 copies of Torrential Gearhulk, him casting Sublime Epiphany twice. We get through it. Alright, so now we add in our cards against Simic. Alright. Now, do you want copies of Herald Torn here? I don't think so. Actually, we might. Play it like this. Goblin Chieftain is a card you want to get rid of over Goblin Warchief. Because Goblin Warchief, the lower amount of mana that you have to pay actually works out a lot better for you. Which a lot of people think Goblin Chieftain is better. because of the +1/+1, which, you know, you wouldn't be totally wrong for thinking that. It's just a slight improvement, especially against control decks where you're going to want to be playing multiple cards a turn. Got the hiccups. Got to keep it. This is actually a really nice hand. It runs out very well against them. This, Snow Mountain, a couple of Goblin matrons eating up their counter spells. I like the side of that. Wily Goblin. They shouldn't really do anything about this. If they counter a Wily Goblin, then they're not playing. Okay, they've either got a lot of counters in their hand or I don't really know what. Goblin War Chief. Alright, so now we can start double spelling. Is he going to send it back to our hand? Does he have an Ether Gust or something? Okay, Brace and Borrower. Sure. Oh, now you can play Torrential Gearhulk next turn. Well, that would suggest to me that he doesn't have a Torrential Gearhulk. Don't know about you guys, but playing a Breeding Pool tapped fair normally suggests that guy does not have. Okay. Play Goblin War Chief. We're not going to attack because he could have a Shark Typhoon. So it is a flash deck. Okay, I'll have to definitely take that into consideration. I don't think he has a counter spell here. See, here's the thing. Do we get a Skirk Prospector and play out Moxus? I think that's the only chance we have at winning this game, to be totally honest, because next turn he gets himself a Sublime Epiphany. And we lose. So this is a big risky play. You know, if this doesn't work out, then okay. Oh, please don't say it's a Tail's End. We should not be annoyed. We went for the Hail Mary Moxus. Okay, so he's got a Sublime Epiphany. Shit. He could Sublime Epiphany. The trigger. But if he does, I get another Moxus. So I feel like we win in that scenario. to combat. We'll swing with Moxus. Comes a 9/9. Whatever happens here, like, is kind of good for us because we're kind of playing this as slow as possible. Okay. Goblin matron. Interesting. It's definitely an interesting one here. Because I do feel he's got a sublime epiphany. Okay. Let's get the snoop. Remember, we can just sack these to pay mana for any counter. You know, if he's got a torrential gearhulk or something. It's weird, I don't know what he can have here. So he does have a sublime epiphany. Alright. It's not actually the worst thing that could have happened. Very interesting. It's possible we win this turn. There's not a world where we definitely don't win. Okay. Let's try and resolve ourselves a Krenko. Might work. The chances of resolving it aren't 0. I don't think he has a counter in his hand. He might have a Sublime Epiphany. Torrential Gearhulk. Sick. So, I think we've got to sacrifice all of our creatures here to play out Moxus. That's stupid. Okay, yeah, here goes nothing. We lose otherwise, so... Cool. Flash, Sublime Epiphany, Torrential Gearhulk, Nightpack Ambusher has to be one of the most irritating decks to come up against. Let's be real here. Oh well. Okay, play first. Alright. I mean, this is like the best start you can have against a control deck, really. Scout Prospector into Snoop. Then just play spells until we lose, right? If he mulligans, it's great for us. The fact he's taken a long time to think about it is also great for us, because it means he's probably got a slightly weaker hand. You know, there can be no real wrath effects here, so the worst he can do is bounce our Snoop, which I don't really mind. Just wait for this guy to do his thing. We're 6 minutes up on the clock, but I don't think the time's going to go into this, to be honest. He still might have Brineborn Cutthroat or the 2-2. We're not certain about that one yet. Play out Wily Goblin. Bounces Snoop, we replay it. If he counters this, it's fine. It's one less counter for us to deal with. We'll decline it. You know, if he's going to wait for Gust a wily Goblin, I'm not going to stop him. Let's just say that. Just hope to see a Cranko on top or something at some point. Next turn we'll play Goblin Matron if there's nothing good on top. Otherwise it's just totally we'll have to play whatever cards are on top. He's stuck on 2 lands. No. Goblin Matron. If we can bait out another counter, it'd be nice. It's not really baiting out a counter, but it's ramping a bit. I hate Growth Spiral. I think it's not as bad now, but see, the other thing I hate with being this low down in Mythic to start with, because I took so long to get it, because I've been focusing on other stuff, is that I'm playing against these kind of decks. I suppose I am also trying Goblins, so it's completely fair enough. No, let's try and bait out some counters from him. Let's take out Muxus. Swing in with a Snoop. And also a Scout Prospector. No, just go for the Snoop. Next one will be an interesting one. I think this guy's got a Nightpack Ambusher from how he's playing. Could definitely have cards such as Torrential Gearhulk. He's got just these two in the bin, so he's probably got a counter in hand at the very least. Be it a Supreme Will. Cycle Shock Typhoon, which is good for us, because it means he's looking for stuff. I still definitely think there's a world in which we win this game. It's not definite now, because Nightpack Ambusher this turn really just hurts us. But Krenko beats Nightpack Ambusher, so... Okay, 5 mana. Ooh. I'll play Goblin Warchief. Does he have a counter? Do we go for the Hail Mary? I don't think we do. It's got Nightpack Ambusher. I mean, like, what can we really do about that? I don't think we could do anything. Nightpack Ambusher sucks. This is probably going to be a one-on-one video here. Against 2 decks which, you know, aren't exactly meta. I want to be coming up against the Sultai decks, you know, the Elves decks. Okay, so he's now got Sublime Epiphany mana. Okay, Skark. We'll play Conspicuous Snoop. We're hoping for a Krenko on top there, really. In fact, let's go search him. Really what we're doing here is we're hunting for a Krenko on top to go alongside our Snoop, because once that happens we're in the money. So I suppose we'll get a Moxus. Might as well. Okay, we'll play another Goblin Matron. I'll get a Snoop this time. Now we'll play a Scope Prospect. Okay, we didn't hit our desired target. He could sacrifice his Blast Zone, get rid of our 2 Scrap Prospectors, and I feel he'd be in a good position. We're looking for Krenkos on the top. Krenkos on Krenkos on Krenkos. Tops 2. Can't be good. Swings in with his 3/3. We let it happen. Okay. Let's play play this, because really it just, like, it's a bad card for him to counter in this situation. Because if he counters it, he has to use one of his, he has to use a lot of mana to counter it and us not be able to pay it. And if he doesn't, we get Moxes off, so... Okay. Let's play Wily Goblin. We're just looking for Krenko. That's all we want. You know, we've got 3 lands on the bottom. Alright, what's he gonna do? Sublime Epiphany, bouncing something to our hand, making a copy of Nightpack Ambusher. Oh no, just scrying with Castle of Antris. See, this is us just having proactive turns to try and catch him out eventually. But next turn we can double Moxes if we want to, so it's really good for us. He'll swing out of his wolves, so we'll take the damage. Unless it's got 2 counters, that would suck. Okay. Next. No attacks. End turn. Okay. Because I think he's got a good counter in his hand. Okay, no, he's just got that. He still might also have a really good counter. Not much we can do about a fat shark, to be totally honest. Yeah. Interesting one. Okay. We get a Krenko on top. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I think this actually wins us the game here. Really nice card to find. Yeah, I'm not sure what this guy can really do against this. Especially considering I've got another Snoop in hand. The Goblin War Chief is what's giving them haste, so if he gets rid of that, that's a small problem. But I'm sure 2 Moxes can find it. Okay. Sublime Epiphany. Can he counter this? Alright, well, I think we just win. Franco. Make ourselves a load more goblins. Does he have fog? That's our next consideration. Suppose you can have turbo fog. Is that likely? I don't think so. Okay, now let's get rid of these two. Tier these goblins. We don't have anything to reach, so you know we've got to swing with everything. We've got two things with haste. Because we've got a goblin chieftain. I think we are hitting this guy for well over 100. There we go. So we won both games. So although the decks we played against weren't that competitive, I think what I was trying to prove still stands. That mono red goblins, I should say, is still a really good deck. That people have kind of forgotten. So yeah, I recommend you guys to try this out in ranked, even if it's just for a bit of fun. You know, it's getting towards the end of the season, so this is kind of a time where people are having a bit of fun with decks. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.